Welcome to the 6th annual Persimmon Ridge Open presented by MVP Disc Sports. We are out here at the Ridge in Greenbrier, Arkansas. My name's Holly Finley.
I'm Rebecca Cox.
And this is ranked the 6th best course in the world on UDisc. Believe it or not, you can pay to play all day for only $5. It's a great place to be and my first time out here.
Here we have our leaderboard. Owen Scoggins at six down, Kristen Tattar at 5 down, Kona Montgomery and Holly Finley tied at 2 down. Pretty tight leaderboard we have here.
Starting off on hole 1, a par 3, coming in at around 300 feet. It's a downhill shot, and every day is a difference in the wind. What you did in practice, you might not get in tournament day.
Mm-hmm.
For our 9:20 tee time on your lead FPO card. Guys, give it up for Miss Owen Scoggins. Let's go!
Seems like a bit of a long forehand for Owen.
Owen, trusting her destroyers, puts it out to the left, and it works its way towards the basket. That'll give her a long putt for birdie.
That's within her range.
Next up on this lead card, welcome with me, Miss Kristen Tattar.
Kristen also going for the forehand shot here. A little bit low, but she'll also be in circle 2.
Third on the card today, welcome, Miss Kona Montgomery.
Good to see Kona back out here on the road.
I think Kona threw a trespass here off the tee, but she starts it too much in the middle, and it ends up in those trees and falls into the out-of-bounds creek.
Welcome, Miss Holly Finley.
And her own Holly Finley.
Commentating on my own shots is always kind of bizarre. After seeing Kona's disc move right rather quickly, I change my aim point more left, knowing that the wind is going to push this Roadrunner towards the basket. And I've got myself a 35-footer for birdie.
It's a pretty good shot shape there. I'm surprised I didn't see Kristen kind of go over the top, but the wind was pushing pretty left.
I saw you go over the top right in front of me and get yourself a 2.
Yes. That's what I practiced, because I had a dead headwind when I practiced this hole.
Kona lays up, owns Scoggins for birdie.
Oh, that was straight up the pole the whole time.
I mean, 50 feet on hole 1.
Mm-hmm.
No fear from Own. A lot of people aren't going to go for a 50-footer on the first hole. You know, you're like, oh, I want to ease into the round. I'm not going for anything desperate.
Owen's not like a lot of people.
It doesn't apply to Own. Kristen for birdie.
Bit high. I think the wind caught that a little bit too. All smiles.
Wasn't really sure what Kristen's putt did there. I don't see that from her often. I aim mine a little too low. I'm thankful we have the flags on the baskets out here, because without a lot of foliage on the trees, it's a tough wind read.
Mm-hmm.
Kristen makes good for the par here on the first.
And I feel like the wind was changing a lot too, direction-wise. Kona, smooth putt.
And for the par,
Here we move on to hole 2, 298 feet. Bit of a turnover backhand or a forehand shot if you like. This whole white spot you see before the basket is all sand, so not a lot of ground play there. And the basket is right at the tippity top of this little mound.
Own mashing on her destroyer, which is what she throws on every hole, and she gives herself a birdie putt. 12 feet on an elevated basket. I like that.
Yeah, that flipped up pretty nice for Kristen. Maybe a little tiny baby roll in front of the basket.
This shot is similar to hole 1 with the wind. I just aim to the left and know that it's going to help move my disc right.
Ooh.
It's a little shorter than I'd like for an elevated basket.
I believe that is another Lucid Trespass. Lucid X, I believe.
Kona does a simple upshot, but because of that hill, it takes an edge and rolls away. And on a basket like this, you might not want to go for that putt. Speaking of, I've got a 38-footer for birdie, and I'm not interested. Behind the basket is a drop-off.
Yeah, that's very true. Smart golf.
And look at this par save for Kona. She says no thanks. She's just going to drop it in for another bogey and move on to the next one.
Yeah, sometimes you got to play the long game. Great birdie putt from Kristen. Looked like the wind maybe died down a little bit there for the putt. It was kind of on and off today. Swirly.
Own in for the birdie here on hole 2. It's 2 in a row for Own Scoggins. Here we are on hole 3, 230 feet, teeing from under this evergreen limb. You've got this small window. As long as you make it past this big tree on the left, you're good to go for a birdie putt. You can smash it right into that rock wall and have yourself a bullseye. In case you're wondering what Own threw, yes, it is another destroyer. I don't need to tell you it's what she throws on all 18 holes.
I like the forehand shape. I think that's the first time I've seen the forehand on this hole. Is it tough having that branch like right at almost your eye line?
It is. You know, I told Luke, and I was hoping he would trim it, but instead he said, yep, it's a tight window. I was like, well, I'm going to have to work with it. So I threw a speed 7 up there to the rock wall.
Yeah, even though it's relatively short, having something fast enough that'll push through everything. Wow, Kona.
Kona on top of the wall, which is a bonus. Everyone's got to look for birdie.
A little bit right side.
Own from 35. A little too left for Own.
Nice putt, Polly. See, you don't need that branch trimmed at all.
Nope, I didn't. Kona goes to the straddle for her birdie putt.
Very nice. Couple of par tap-ins.
When I practiced this course, I only used a golf cart, which is another great feature here at Persimmon Ridge. $20 a round, or you can rent it all day. I didn't know how long the walk was, but it isn't at all. We finished in almost 2.5 hours.
Yeah, not too bad. Hole 4, par 4. You want your drive to land somewhere along this big fat tree, and you'll have a pretty low ceiling upshot, maybe a little skipper, but you don't have a lot of airspace once you get within about 150 feet of the basket.
It's a fun trend at this course. A lot of low ceilings, I've noticed, for a tall girl like me. Got a high-speed driver, just trying to land right in that opening that Rebecca mentioned near that big tree.
Well done. You can hear the wind ripping too. I think it was like a left to right when I got to the hole.
As indicated by Kona's ponytail. She puts a move on that one with a lot of height, and she goes past the big tree, and anywhere up there is actually a fine place to be. You're looking at an option for a birdie 3.
I thought that was going to come out sooner. But she'll still have like a relatively wide open look to the basket. And Kristen's turns over a little fast. She'll be kind of short of that opening. And
she doesn't quite get a ground skip to get her a nice birdie putt, but you can't belittle a shot in the middle.
Oh, I like that.
On Scoggins' second shot, she is set up in a primo position. Hers is a little low as well and gets caught up on those 2 big trees right in front of the basket. That's going to be a long putt.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I've seen too many straddle putts from Owen before.
That was an incredible shot where they focus from the
Yeah,
basket
that
over
was
to
really
Kona.
cool.
I don't know who these camera guys are, but they are good. So like everyone else, low ceiling, just trying to sneak it past these trees, but I do not. So I am stuck at the trees as well with a long putt for birdie.
Kristen's just looking to pitch up for the easy par here. Well done.
That's Sarah in the background. I just met her at the autograph table. Thanks for coming out, Sarah. Owen tries to go for the birdie putt, but the limb killed her vibe. She'll have to settle for a par.
Oh, speaking of limbs.
Yeah, I wanted to give this a run, but, you know, that it's right in the arc of my putt, so.
Yeah, smart golf. Oh, I thought that was in.
Kona gets a taste of the chains for birdie, but she'll have to accept a par on this one.
Nice job, Owen. I love how smooth Kona's putt's looking nowadays.
Very strong.
Yeah, you can tell she's been working on it. Really surprised not to see any birdies on this hole.
No, I got it yesterday, but it eluded our card this morning. Here we are on hole 5, a cute little wooded shot, only 240, par 3, perfect for everyone that has a forehand I also have a forehand, but I do prefer a backhand on this one.
Yeah, it's another one of those low ceiling shots, so the backhand can be a little tricky. That tree is right in the way of that backhand turnover.
Still up there for a birdie putt, though.
Yeah.
Kona with a Fusion Sargent.
Yeah, Fusion Sergeant. Great, putting herself in the circle.
A little low for own, but those destroyers skip a lot. Ooh, she gives it an ace run.
Luckily, she threw something fast enough that would just keep going. Ooh, Kristen's throwing my
Rebecca Cox
Rebecca
Glory.
Cox Glory. Oh, she sneaks around that tree.
I would feel so, I don't know, elated if I saw the world champ throwing my tour series.
It's pretty cool.
Birdie putt from 35.
Man, that's a couple of putts of hers now that I really thought she had.
Owns birdie putt, falls out right side. And Kristen with the last look at birdie here, and also the CTP of the group.
Very nice. Yeah, this is really a hole I don't feel good about parring. Like, I really want the bird. It's right there.
I feel like anything under 250 should be a 90% birdie.
Hole 6, another shorter par 3, 285 feet. Basket's right there in front of the tee pad. You have a few trees surrounding the basket, but pretty straightforward shot. Another one of those holes that, 90% of the time you should be a relatively easy birdie. But it is pretty windy today.
Shout out to Eric for the drone coverage out here at Persimmon Ridge. Early recognition is critical.
And this is looking great out of Kristen's hand.
Kristen throws a harp, doesn't get a lot of ground play, and gives her a fairly easy birdie putt.
Ooh.
I go for a slow walk up, a high speed driver, and hopefully give myself a skip ace chance.
Oh.
But the downfall to that is it does get a lot of ground play, so you're going to be moving left.
That's what I kind of like about this hole. There's a lot of ways to attack it. It's based on how you feel in the moment. Wow.
Kona parks it. She can drop it in.
This looks a little wide from Own, but I'm assuming it's going to swing right back. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you don't want to be behind those little green trees at all because they're all wide and bushy.
I threw mine too long yesterday and didn't have much of a putt.
Great putt.
In from the birdie from circle's edge.
Yep.
Own in for the birdie, as well as Kristen here on hole 6.
And Kona with the tap in for the star frame. Very nice. Well done.
Big improvement from hole 5. Here we are on hole 7, another semi-wooded hole, also a low ceiling, 282. You can throw it straight and get yourself a birdie putt, or if you've got something that skips, there's a lot of different ways to play this. Also another very aceable hole, which is a fun thing about playing out here.
Yeah, another one of those low ceiling shots. So even though it's 280, you see Kristen here with the glory, something fast that she doesn't have to work as hard to get the disc there. That looks good. Oh, very good.
Just a little road runner on the pole.
I believe that was an Orbit Maverick from Kona. Ooh, a little tight from Own, but she sneaks past all those trees.
It looked like she was going to hit those trees for sure, right on the corner, but she
puts just enough on it for it to sneak past.
Yep. Kona kind of in a weird spot here. And I was sitting right behind the basket, and that was actually perfectly over the top of the basket. So a little lower, that would have went in. Very good line on it.
Very nice putt from Own. Circle's edge. Yeah, sometimes when you're from a knee, you feel like you can't get that pop on it, so you have to give it more height.
It's another birdie for Kristen and Own.
Nice little tap in from Kona. And here with Holly. Bag on. Putter dropper.
Bonus.
Hole 8, par 4, 767 feet. You really want to try and get your disc as far as you can off the drive. There is an OB line on the right side where that cart path is. Being in the woods on the left is a no-go. Don't go there. It's pretty tight. Like in these trees is almost basically nothing.
Kristen with a signature Orbit Grace. And I'd say making it at or past that big tree in the middle of the fairway is pretty much a really decent shot.
Yeah, I agree. It's also like one of your only aiming points in the fairway too.
Got a Tito's Shrike. That's not a plastic, that's a stamp.
I'm giving this another big ton of angle shot. I'm not sure if she meant to throw it that high.
I'm not sure either, but it worked out okay.
Yeah.
Not in the woods on the edge. This is Own's second shot. She's put herself in position to get a simple par.
That's one of the things Own does really well is that she plays her game. She doesn't try to do anything outside of what she knows she can do.
I actually heard her on the phone to someone because we were parking near each other, and she said, a lot of the other girls are throwing putters and mids, but I don't care. I'm sticking to my game. I'm throwing my destroyers. It fights the wind. I mean, and look where it's getting her.
Yeah.
Not just this weekend, but every weekend.
Kona with a pretty good standstill shot there.
Throwing the same disc twice. I think if it was a little flatter, I might have gotten an option for a birdie putt, but I've shorted that. And seeing that it's windy here and that basket is elevated, it's not really a putt you want to risk. Not for me today.
Kristen puts a lot of power on this. Settle. Very nice. Yeah, anywhere past that basket where that big bushy tree is also danger.
And look at the accuracy of this upshot from Kona.
Oh, leaving it a little bit short, but I don't think she's too worried about it. Is that purple putter like a layup putter?
Only, yes.
Okay.
Kristen for the 3. And she actually did stand there for about 20 seconds reading the
Really?
wind.
It looked like a left to right from that angle, and she left it right of the basket. Maybe like a misread, or
I think just like you said earlier, the wind is every direction at once. Own makes good for the par, even though she, for a lot of people, shorted that upshot.
yeah.
What a great comeback.
I feel like part of Owen's game is just, if I'm in circle 1, I'm good.
Exactly.
Like, she's not worried, long, short, doesn't matter.
Right.
And Kona with the easy tap in for par. Very
Dunk.
nice.
Let's check out hole 9, the only tee we play from the long gold tee. We've got this amazing wooden structure here with the eagle flying. That's actually a Mando. Disc must pass to the right of that. So a big bombing drive off the tee and then a nice accurate upshot. Give you a look at a birdie 3 here.
Yeah, we had a tailwind on the drive here. I'm not sure if that was the same for you guys. I love the forehand off the tee. You really want to put yourself more on the right side of the fairway. It gives you a better angle to the basket around that Mando. This is looking nice. Bit more turn on that than I expected, but she's up there.
Inbounds.
Kona, again, I believe that's her supreme trespass. And Kona, I feel also with myself at this course, I feel like I'm only throwing like 2 or 3 molds off the tee.
Own around the Mando.
Oh, and she gets a nice little roll past that tree too.
Wow, look at this. I didn't see
What
this.
kind of technology does she have in these drivers?
Wow. That was so beneficial for her. Thank you, course. This course has been so nice to me. I didn't see that today, but it's cool to see from this angle.
Yeah, it seemed like kind of a left to right wind up here, which just pushes down those hyzers sometimes. And like I said before, it's not like a consistent wind or anything. Sometimes it's going hard, sometimes it's not.
Kristen skips long into the woods, and there is a little tunnel there.
Little baby window in there. It's still kind of tricky to even get yourself to your lie.
And I did not
Whoa.
make this shot correctly. And I've missed the Mando. I'll have to proceed to the drop zone.
I wasn't even thinking about that. I thought you were past that.
You know, I actually played the wrong tee in practice and just wasn't aware of that.
I did the same thing.
You know, what type of shot I need for the second shot. I mean, it's literally
Right.
the second time I've ever thrown it in my life. It seems like a Stockheiser, but that's okay. I'm just going to toss this pig up from the drop zone.
Oh, okay. That's it. Saw the line from the drop zone. It's really pinched.
It is. It's not a favorable drop zone at all. It's not a give me by any means.
Kona's upshot landed in those bushes, but she makes good with her upshot little forehand.
I loved that shot.
Oh,
Own tries to make good for the birdie three from really far away
gives it a chance.
over the top. Now she's long in the trees.
Oh, she does have a little tunnel. Hard to give it enough air when it's just all trees. Yeah, she went a bit longer than I thought she did.
You know, it's hard to tell from this angle, but that is kind of a downhill green.
Yeah, a little bit. That was a little mean. I felt like it really crept over the cage enough.
Great
with a
putt.
solid putt. I felt like she knocked some dust off of those chains right there.
And I am in for a 6. I hate that after having the longest drive off the tee. And Own will take a bogey 5 here. She said that hole got away from her yesterday, too. And that's it? Oh my gosh, that was so fast. I'm not
Yeah.
ready for the party to be half over. Check out this leaderboard.
Yeah, Kristen and Kona keeping a pretty clean card here. I mean, everyone else too. It's just that hole 9.
Nobody over par at the moment, so that looks pretty good. If you've never been to Persimmon Ridge, please come out. You can also go to the website, persimmonridgeresort.com. This is our top 10 leaderboard. A lot of the tour girls are out here. Jana Booth, I've met her in some Florida events. And these other names, if you don't recognize, you're not watching enough disc golf. All my friends, I love playing with everybody. This is a great place to be. So again, Persimmon Ridge here in Greenbrier, Arkansas, with the best address, 1 Fairway Drive.
Oh yeah, won't forget it.
Appreciate you guys tuning in to this coverage by GK Pro, and shout out to Eric for the drone coverage as well. We'll see you guys for the back 9.